Be kind and change the world. That's what we're trying to do. You know, I've been a lawyer for 50 years. But the last 12 years, I've decided to take time off my lawyering to run the Singapore Kindness Movement. The Singapore Kindness Movement is really about fostering a more gracious and a kinder society. To what end, you ask? It is so that we can make the world a better world. So it's about changing the behavior of ourselves and our fellow citizens so that we can make this world a better place. Now, I'm sure you're thinking about one thing. It's a kind of oxymoron, isn't it? To think that a lawyer and kindness could be linked together. There are people who actually believe that there are no such thing as a kind lawyer. I set out to make a difference and to tell them that there is that possibility. So let me unpack the two words. The word change, change maker, and the idea of kindness. A change maker is anyone who seeks to make a difference, however small, in society, so that there is a positive way that we can go forward for the betterment of all. Now that means, literally, it's not about the big things that we do that changes the world. I think it was Mother Teresa who said that. It's not every one of us who can do big things or great things, but all of us can do small things with great love. And that's what change making is all about. And by that definition, all of us can be change makers because we can make a difference to somebody's life every day. What is kindness, you ask? Kindness is simply other-centeredness. If you think about generosity, if you think about compassion, if you think about empathy, if you think about anything that is thoughtful, considerate, it's always about doing something for somebody else. And that's what kindness is. In other words, if we live a very selfish life, we are not going to be very kind. So to be kind, we live, in a sense, for others, making others happy, making the world better. So that's what kindness is all about. So if you think about it, kindness and change-making go together. And I will now tell you two stories in my own experience how this actually happened. The first story, I titled it Landover. Exactly 50 years ago, in my first year of law practice, 1973. I started in January of 1973, and by the middle of 1973, some leaders of a non-profit organization came to me and said, "We've got a problem, and time is running out." I said, "What problem is it?" "Well, we got a problem because we got a piece of land, 999-year lease, given by the British government for us to do something good on that land, but we don't have the money. We didn't have it, and we still don't have it. And now, the government wants the land back." I said, "Why would the government want the land back?" He said, "Because we did nothing on it, and we allowed squatters to sit on the land." 6 squatters. One of them was actually squatted. One of the squatters was actually a member of that particular society. And I said, "I'm only a rookie lawyer. Why come to me? This is a huge job. This land is worth a lot of money. It's a huge piece of land." And they said to me, "We went to another law firm. And because we didn't have money, nothing has happened. So we are worried because time is running out. Can you do it pro bono, meaning free?" I need money, because I just started. And I looked at the case, I studied it, and there was something in me that said, I got to do something about it. If I don't, they're going to lose the land. Somebody has to try. And especially when I realized that the person who is the biggest squatter was a member of the society, that the society helped when he was poor. But now he's got a feed mill on that land, and it was generating income. But when these people approached him to leave the land, he said, you need to compensate me. And when they went to the other squatters, they pointed to him and said, if he doesn't move, we won't move. They're stuck. I have a great sense of empathy and a great sense of injustice. I felt it was terribly wrong that we can't have people who take advantage when they were poor and they were given a lot of help, and now become rich and they would not even help the hand that fed him. So I said, I'll do it. I was resolute. I was determined because I knew that this guy who's sitting on the land has a lot of money and he has deep pocket and he would be able to employ the best lawyer in town. In fact, he did. And for 6 days, we fought in court. Remember, I was a 6-month lawyer. Why did I do it? I did it because I have a great sense that I got to do something in order to help these people. And to me, I was driven by the sense of kindness, by the sense of I can't stand injustice, by the sense that you have made your money, you can't bully the people who helped you. I was resolute. Thank goodness we won. And today that land is worth a lot of money, and they managed to raise some money and they built a columbarium on that land. And with all the income from the columbarium over the many years, since 1970, I don't know what year it was, maybe 1980 when they built the columbarium, they have generated a lot of income, and as a result, they built an elder home on that land. And then with more money, they built 4 more elder homes. So as a result of saving that land, 5 elder homes have been built. I feel so good about it. I made a difference because I was willing to stick my neck out, not make the money, and help an organization do good. I did it. I'm sure all of us can do it if given a chance. Question is always, are we willing to do it? Or is money everything? If it's not, sometimes we're going to do something for people who can't afford it for free in order that they can do good in the future. That's one story. Second story, I call it handover. Literally, it was handover. You see, 6 months after that, maybe because of my reputation thereafter, a young man was brought to me, tall, fierce-looking, tough-looking. He was charged with armed robbery. He actually held up a clinic. He was arrested and he was on bail. The people who brought him to me said, he's only 19 years old, he can't afford to pay you. Would you please do it for free? Second freebie in 1 year. That's a good way to start your law practice, right? I looked at him, and straight away I saw a great potential in him. I had a long chat with him and realized that this guy is very intelligent. It's just that he went into the wrong crowd. And he was born in a family that couldn't afford to really spend time with him. They were poor. The first thing I did was I told him, you come and stay with me. I've got a wife and I've got a baby. I said, you come and stay with me. You know why? Because you're on bail and I don't want you to get out there and mix with the wrong crowd again and get into trouble. Because we're going to make this work for you. He stayed with me. during the bail period, before the trial. And many of my friends said, "You must be crazy. This guy is an armed robber. Don't you understand?" Of course I did. I was prepared to take risk because I believed that he needed kindness. He needed someone to believe in him. He needed a safe space and a secure environment where he would not get involved in crime again. To cut a long story short, he was convicted by the judge, and this had never happened before and never happened after, for an armed robber conviction. He was given 1 year's probation. Amazing! And I took the responsibility for him and took care of him for 1 year. He committed no more crime, went back to school, and to cut a long story short, he became a successful businessman. Came back to me as a client a second time as a business client, not a criminal client. He's got 3 kids. One of them became a lawyer. He told the daughter, the first one, "You got to be a lawyer because look at Uncle William. He's a good lawyer. He helped me. Now you got to be a lawyer and be a good lawyer." And he started a non-profit as well. And he's been giving generously. An individual, that someone choose to be kind to him. Not just me, the court, the judge was also kind to him. And as a result of that, changed his life. Changed his family's life. He started a business that was so successful that he was able to give all his family members a job. And he started a non-profit where he's giving a lot of money away. And he's got 3 beautiful kids who are all very successful. Change one man's life, there's a ripple effect. You change the whole family and you change the whole community. So 2 things. 1, change is possible. It's possible in the bigger picture, like the land not reverting back to the government, and the land can be used to help so many more people. Change is possible with an individual. Change is possible when there is kindness. I could have walked away from that first case and say, "Look, man, I've just started and now, go somewhere else, I can't afford to do this." And the trial went for 6 days. And there's so much work to be done. No way. I could look at the young man and say, "Sorry, you're an armed robber. You deserve it, right? Why should I help you?" Thank God I didn't do that. Because even as a lawyer, then and now, I believe in being kind. So, never doubt that every kind, risk-taking, resolute individual can change their corner of the world. What is the corner of the world that you want to change? You, as an individual, can do it if you're prepared to be kind, you're prepared to take some risk, and you're resolute in helping someone in need. So, ladies and gentlemen, all I can tell you from my own story is be kind, and you can help me change the world. Thank you very much.